A black man has been arrested and may be charged with a felony after a photo circulated on social media showing him kneeling on a white toddler's neck while another black person holds the baby's arms behind his back, complete with a caption supporting Black Lives Matter. But wait, you might say, I thought only white Trump voters could be racist pieces of garbage. Well, that might be what the media want you to think because, they're in the business of peddling the left's fake narrative of oppression. Too bad it's not true. So to that end, meet Isaiah Jackson. He's black, he supports Black Lives Matter, and he is a racist piece of garbage. Fair warning now, this gets a bit disturbing. Ready? Here we go. The Clark County Prosecutor's Office in Ohio says felony charges are pending against the man in this photo, identified as 20-year-old Isaiah Jackson. Now, if you're thinking, oh Lord, what fresh hell is this? Let me explain. The photo shows Jackson pinning his girlfriend's crying baby to the ground with his knee in the back of the child's neck, while another black person holds the child's arms behind their back, along with the caption, BLM now MF, or translation from internet speak, Black Lives Matter now, mother effer. Police say the child was later taken to the hospital to be evaluated. Thankfully, he wasn't injured in the incident, at least not physically. Jackson, on the other hand, has been booked in the local jail and is likely to get slapped with felony charges. Now, why am I highlighting this story? It is a terrible story. Doesn't make any of our days any better for hearing it. It is awful. But try Googling it. The only outlets that have covered this story, other than a few conservative sites, are local channels. A black man pinned a white baby to the ground on purpose in open support of a national race-based movement that's been praised by everyone from pundits and congressmen to a presidential candidate, and it doesn't even warrant a mention? I'm telling you this story because you would already know it, and probably in a lot more detail, if this had been a white man kneeling on a black baby's neck. Can you imagine? We'd already know this guy's whole criminal history, what classes he took in middle school, and where his mama lives. This would be all over the national news for days. How do I know that? Well, because a white kid smiled at a Native American guy last year, and we heard about it for a week. But this story right here, it doesn't fuel the anti-white, anti-conservative, anti-Trump narrative that the media so desperately needs to prop up. Because here's the truth of it. This horrible picture, this violent, bigoted, hateful waste of oxygen is not indicative of all black people. He doesn't describe all men, all 20-year-olds, all boyfriends, all insert demographic here. This photo is not reflective of this guy's race, sex, marital status, religion, living environment, income level, political party, or occupation. All it reveals is the evil that is in this man's heart. Isaiah Jackson doesn't describe all 20-year-old black men any more than Derek Chauvin reflects all white cops, and that is exactly why the media won't report on it. Why they won't talk about the black-on-black crime in Chicago that saw 88 people shot and 16 dead between last Friday and Monday alone. Because stories like this prove that evil comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Black men have hurt white children. White cops have killed unarmed black men. White people have killed white people. Blacks have killed blacks. Europeans slaughtered Native Americans who were already slaughtering each other. Guess what the British, Chinese, Mayans, Cherokees, ancient Romans, and just about every single African tribe all had in common? Slavery. Welcome to human history. Pull up a chair, it ain't all pretty. But see, the left desperately needs to fuel the myth that racism and bigotry and evil only exist in the hearts of one faction of society because that stirs up anger and fear and national drama. That sells newspaper subscriptions and gets clicks on websites, and it fuels a political agenda whose very existence depends on minorities feeling oppressed by white people, particularly conservative ones. That's how the left controls minority communities, through victimization and fear. They need you to believe that only a white man could be horrible enough to plant their knee into someone's neck, and that the only reason he'd do it is because he's a vile racist. That only Americans of color are the targets of racial violence and that racism is a white man's game. They need you to know Derek Chauvin's name and not Isaiah Jackson's. But now you do. So if you still buy the left's narrative that evil and racism exist solely in the heart of someone who'd vote for a president you don't like, then you are willfully seeing what you want to see, and you are intentionally ignoring the truth. And that's your Reality Check America. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and stay sane out there.